So the ring, you actually had a ring.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times guys who sat in the chair didn't even have that.
Yes. See, now, I'm going to come off as a dick saying this, and I'm only 5 years, and a lot of you guys are way past me, and, you know, you might look at me and say, hey, he's a dick for saying that. But I don't really get the point of bumping on the ground. You know, why am I going to kill myself?
Fuck no.
Why the fuck would I do that? And there's a lot of guys, like I like Steve Fury. I know he has people do that, and I'm not knocking you, Steve Fury, or anything like that. But, like, when I was trained, I thank God that's one thing he knew was, okay, I'm going to teach you how to fall. He did teach me how to fall, and he taught me right. But I'm not going to take I'll take a bump on the floor if it calls for it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not just going to go out there and kill my body, you know?
Drills on the floor.
Yeah.
So okay.
Lick my bow.
I started out in a ring. The first thing I did is I learned how to bump. Then I learned how to run the ropes.
This was Will Pritchard teaching.
Forsaken. Will Pritchard taught me how to do. The biggest thing he taught me technical-wise is how to do it around the world. You know, headlock.
Yeah.
Hammerlock. It's like, wow. And that was it. I was like, I want to learn more, and he couldn't do it. So Yako Romero and Forsaken, they taught me a lot of stuff. You know, they really couldn't go too much farther. Years down the road, they kind of, you know, went into it. But like, I learned how to do bumps, run the ropes, quarter roll, flip bump, back bump. Well, I already did a back bump. You know, jump bumps, whatever it may be, and that's where it went. You know,
right?
But you know, and then. And this is probably going to be one of your next questions, my first match, you know, but...
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Well, see, I don't know. I felt... But the funny thing is I never paid the dude. Never.
You never paid him?
Never paid him.
Sweet.
I kept saying I got prom to pay for and everything.
No kidding.
I didn't go to prom.
That's funny.
You got over on his trainer.
How stiff? You worked your trainer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did you train with him?
3 months. Every time it was like, you know...
So was it 3 months before you had your first match?
Let's see. My first match was February 15, 2003, so... Yeah, I started training in November. So, yeah, that would... 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
3 or 4 months of the same stupid shit. You know, don't teach me anything else. But, you know, because Yako Romero and Forsaken, they were only there a few times. They couldn't keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. It was just Will Pritchard, you know. And when there was, you know... And what I think is funny, there was 5 of us when we started. The first one didn't last it for 2 days. Then one's injured, which he's a friend of mine. He got hurt driving a truck or something. Another one who, the funny thing is I was the least talented out of everybody. There's this one guy, Dustin, who's extremely talented, but he just decided to stay hometown, you know?
Right.
I mean, he should be where I'm at, and I should be, you know, following him. But that's not the way it worked out. You know, I busted my ass because I told him the first day, I said, I know you're better than me. I said, but I'm going to be better than you. Give me time, you know. And it was
all
be
BTY.
Yeah,
right?
Well, yeah, I didn't BTY. Yeah.
What's Dustin's work name?
Dustin Michaels.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
It's because he stayed hometown, I guess.
Yeah, he works in Hartford and Dothan. He's really good talented guy, and I'm not burying him at all. I mean,
no.
So I mean,
I wish you'd come out. We need some.
Yeah.
We need some work.
Does nobody ever say any names? They just say that guy and he wears this gear and.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
No.
But yeah, that's what happened. I ended up being like low grade. And 5 years later. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the greatest guy in the world. Whatever.
Well, to go back, you said that Will Pritchard was a piece of shit, and you don't mind burying him.
No.
It seems like he taught you the fundamentals and the basics for free. What would be the heat there?
The heat?
Yeah. Why would you have an issue with the guy?
It's just too much shit.
He just doesn't like him.
It's just, you know, I can't explain it.
Do you have no respect for him?
I respect for what he did for me.
But
there's just a lot of things that I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like how a lot of people are with their fathers, you know. You know, thanks for raising me, but I still think you're a cocksucker. Well, that's kind of how it is.
Okay. There's no specific incident. I mean, I don't.
Well, he did also say that all he taught him was around the world.
Yeah,
bump.
I mean, honestly, you go to a training school, you get taught all these. Usually, you get taught all these things, like you taught how to bump and all these things, and then you progress into different stages. Like, okay, we're going to learn how to, how
to put together a match.
All the moves are just
psychology.
How to work psychology. That took me 3 years. You know, I'm not saying I'm the king of psychology or nothing like that, but it's.
You expect
it's
more.
Like a waste of fucking time when you're saying, okay, I'm going to give you $600-700 for you to teach me how to bump. You know, I could learn. You know, I'm not saying I could, but I could learn how to follow my own damn self. You know,
right?
But how hard? And how hard is bumping? You know, to do it the right way, you got to be trained. But you know, anybody can fall.
Yeah.
It's like a hardcore match. Anybody can do a hardcore match.
Sure. Okay.
So I mean,
I just wasn't sure if there was a specific incident.
Yeah. Thanks for not teaching me psychology, asshole.
That's the tagline for this one.
Yeah.
So it was 3 months you went, and then you had your first match.
Yeah.
Who was your first match again?
Dustin.
It was against Dustin.
Yeah.
How did you do?
Dude, I don't even want to see that match. Really, never. I think I've watched it twice. And
Were you Colby Godwin?
I was fuck no.
Who were you? What was your gimmick?
Here it comes.
Okay.
No.
Before I do, can I do something? Can I say something?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
Really?
Go ahead. No,
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, in SXW, it was.
What is SXW?
I think I know what's
Southeast
coming.
Extreme Wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestling. I have a list.
That's fine.
It's SCW or SXW, whichever you want to be. But everybody is kin to somebody. Everybody has worked somewhere, and they have never been anywhere. Really good guys. Some of them really great guys. But it's just like, okay, I'll give you a gimmick because you look like this guy. Funny thing you saying The Rock because it's going to get good. Anyhow,
I've heard this before.
You have guys like Luke Goldberg, really nice guy.
Luke Goldberg?
Luke Goldberg. He looks like him. But see, this is the funny thing. I was trained. He was also one that he also helped train me. So I go to a USWA show. The first time I ever met Cyrus LeVay, which I still mark out for Cyrus LeVay.
Who, of course.
Yeah, Cyrus, that's the guy I want to work. But anyhow, I go to USWA and Disco Inferno's there, Glenn Goldberg. And I walk up to him like a fucking mark and I say, you know Bill Goldberg? No shit, he was in WCW. And I said, you know his brother Luke? He looks me dead in the face. He said, what are you, a fucking mark? And I'm like,
yeah.
You know, what
No, my name's Colby.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like an idiot because I read, whose book was it that was talking about Goldberg? Was it Flair?
What do you say about it?
Flair Foley was talking about how they knew his brothers and everything. And so I read the book, and now not only do I know that Luke Goldberg is not Goldberg's real brother, I read in a book, and I feel like a bigger dumbass for asking that question, right? So you've got Luke Goldberg, who's kin to Goldberg. You got Dustin Michaels, who's kin to Shawn Michaels. You've got Will Pritchard, has been in ECW, the Backstreet Brawler. You just got a lot of people with fucked up names, and you know, I just wanted to be. I was in high school. I played football. I did all these sports. I had a Letterman jacket. I just wanted to be the jock.
So were you Colby Smiley?
I wasn't Colby Smiley. I was the jock, Joseph Maivia. I was kin to the Rock.
Really?
White as a ghost.
I have heard. I did hear about that.
Yeah,
I'm actually darker than I was the first.
The jock.
Yeah, the jock Joseph Maivia, and I actually did like the jock gimmick.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a good
not
gimmick.
the Rock, nowhere towards it, you know,
Right.
because I played high school, you know, and that's kind of like how BTY is. It's like Frost reiterated to me. It's like a collegiate athlete, you know.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than a lot of people.
Right.
So, anyways, I get stuck with the jock Joseph Maivia, and I walk out there in my basketball shorts and my basketball jersey, and I walk out with those knee pads they sell at Walmart for volleyball and my basketball shoes, and I'm throwing my arm up, you know, and
really?
sniffing the shit and everything else, you know, and I get on the microphone and, you know,
Did you shtick?
like a complete fucking mark.
Really?
Yeah, and it was fucking ridiculous. I did that for about 5 months, and I always wondered why does anybody want to use me?
You need footage of that.
Yeah. Does it exist?
Don't burn that shit, please.
I don't
Don't.
show anybody. I just
Does
wanna
it
see for
exist?
myself.
Oh yeah, watch it, laugh at me, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
fuck that,
All I
dude.
want out of it.
Because one of the women that come to the show, she was there in my first match, Linda. I'm sure you probably met her at a show. A tall, skinny woman, long hair. Anyway, she's got that tape, and one guy I really like, David Prime. You know, he always wants to say, I want to see your first match. I'm like, dude, don't fucking watch that match. And Linda has it, showed him. He ribs me about that shit. He does rib me all the time, but he's like, oh yeah, I watched your first match. Horrible, man. I remember calling a spot. I shoot him off the ropes. I say, duck the clothesline, come back, give me one. He ducks the clothesline and he just bumps. I'm just
The airline.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
finishes me off with the second rope frog splash, but
Oh, it's nice.